Alright, you guys. So, I have a small to normal size Temu haul for you guys. I'm going to start with these two paintings that I bought. Or I guess I could say I technically got for free. They were credits from canvases I returned, or credits from canvases I returned, and from just like the few cents here and there for price adjustments and stuff. So technically I didn't pay anything for them, even though it is money I paid towards Temu previously. So, you know what, we'll start with the normal size. I want to start with the big one, but we'll start with this one, the magpie. So I don't know if I've got it yet or I'm waiting for it, but there's a picture like this of two magpies. I did order it, so I've either unboxed it already or it's on its way to be unboxed. And then this one is a singular magpie. Aren't they cute? I love the white and black on these guys. And then I'm not a huge yellow fan. It's just like too vibrant for me. But the nice bits of yellow here with the baby blue and stuff, hopefully is going to turn out nice. It looked nice in the photo. I'm not sure about these few little dots here. I feel like those few little star signs there, I'm not going to put them. I feel like I'm just going to carry these eyes all the way down here over those, and those. Maybe these two can stay, but I don't think they're really necessary either. It almost looks like his head is just trying to grow away from him or something. So I don't like that when all the rest of this is just huge color blocking of eyes. I feel like this is just random. Okay, the cover sheet removed easily. Stick is nice. This made me realize the last few videos I didn't check stick on. So if you're somebody that watches my other videos, the stick is good on the paintings there as well. If the stick is bad, I will try to let you guys know, even if I don't check it in the video. I will try to let you know at the end of the video in the comments or something that I ended up checking and it wasn't good. So, unless you hear me say something, you should be good. So we have gorgeous colors, this yellow and then the cream yellow color there. Black, greens, browns, there's some purple in there. Hopefully it turns out nicely. It does not have the canvas number on it though. I wrote just a little too big to fit that all on the sticker that way. Oh well. So let's see what we got here. You got 22 colors, letters, and symbols. And the drill field looks great. And then I get to those G's and it's like, they're blurry, but I don't think I'm going to have trouble knowing those are the baby G's, because what else looks like that? But all this looks nice. I don't have any issues with any of this, other than those baby G's there, but they, again, are the only thing that looks like that, so even if they are blurry, it's easy to tell. Oh, blurry thing. Must be a G again. So, look at our gorgeous little magpie. And then this one's a larger lady. Very thick canvas. Look at her. Ain't she cute? Very colorful too. Look at all that. Nice, colorful. Hopefully her skin comes out the right color, but look at the gorgeous big brown eyes and the clothes with all the detail. Bright background. I really liked the look of this girl. Look at all this. Do those colors not draw your attention? Especially that red, yellow, and blue together there. And then of course you got your Christmas together right here. Again, no label, but they are pretty bagged, so. Okay, interesting. So the name goes this way. And yes, it's a very odd canvas size, huh? So we got to measure this one. The drill area, okay, the drill area goes this way. So you are working on her sideways like this. She has 24 colors. And I don't think you're going to have an issue working on that. They kind of have like the circles lightly put in there. Like I think even in those ones I can see a lighter circle. Like they used a white overlay. And they changed the density of the overlay. So you didn't really see the white circle all too much, but it gives it a very light highlight. Can you see that? There is a very tiny highlight around those white circles, or sorry, yellow circles. I can see there's a tiny circle around them. So it's like a very light overlay for everything. I don't think you're going to have an issue reading any of that. You definitely have color blocking. Look at all those threes there. It, however, does almost look like this looks a little more purple here. And this looks a little more gray here. So to me, it almost looks like this should have been two different colors. Yeah. Sorry, we're going to look at the numbers sideways here, but you see those stripes? They look like they're supposed to give the hair definition, right? So it doesn't just look like a black blob. And then you look that those are also threes. There's a few random R's in there. But these lines here being threes and this being threes, I don't think this is supposed to be a 3 and all of this is supposed to be a 3. You got these threes in the dark and these threes in the light. I don't think that's right. Looks like her hair is just going to be a black blob without any definition that way. And down here, those are also threes. So yeah, look at all this is really dark shadow of under hair down here. And that's all threes. This is slightly lighter. It's all threes. This looks like it should be the same color as the dark shadows here. But again, it's all threes. This is literally all threes. So sadly, she might not turn out as great with this hair. Because this really should be different colors. Even if it's black and then just like a shade or two lighter. But that's not what they did. So her hair has me worried that this is literally going to be a mass with no definition. Because these lines go away and it's all one solid color. I mean, there's a few R's in there, but not enough to be lines to separate it, I don't think. I'm worried because I think she's gorgeous. I want her to turn out, but I'm really worried about what I see in this hair right here. That there should not be the same color as that there. But I like the colors here too. So because this one is such an odd size of 35 or 34 by 59, I'm thinking they're giving us drill area size. But we will check that in a minute. And this might be the easiest canvas number ever. Z/1. Okay, it's not the easiest ever. Again, I have like a D12 or a D3 or something like that in the collection, and I have a few other simple ones, but Z/1, really? And yes, my Z's and 2's, and again, I don't write great. So I'm wondering what I'm going to do about her when I get to her. Should I work on her hair the way they have it listed with it all being 3s? Or should I maybe ignore all of the letters in her hair and just do the 3s in the really dark part and these slightly lighter parts use a more gray or a really dark brown instead of a black? So I'm thinking this is a painting that I'd like to see done, but this really scares me, so I'm thinking I might work on the whole entire painting and then go back for the hair type painting. But then, like I said, I'm one that I like to know what this is supposed to look like that. So do I really want to change it before finding out? But because I'm so afraid that those all are 3s and there's not enough random R's and stuff in there to give it definition, do I even try? Because that's a lot of drills to have to put on and scrape off if it doesn't look right. I mean, I guess these two, this one and this one here, I can use those two, do this square, nice small square, see if this shows up at all. And if it does, then I can just go ahead and try the rest. If these two completely disappear, I know for a fact I don't want to do this whole head of hair like they have it mapped out. So we're looking at 53.5. And it says 59. So the whole blue is supposed to be 59 apparently then. We'll go to the first blue line down there and the first one here. I got 58. So a little off there still too. And then we're saying it's 34. So what, are we gonna have her being like, she is a 29, and blue line to blue line is still under 34. You're looking at like 33.5-ish. So yeah, I don't quite get why they called it a 34 by 59, just to irritate me, because now it's like, do I round this up to a 35 by 60 to put it along with my other paintings and be similar in numbers? Because a 4 and a 9 are completely off. And all this extra here, I think they actually counted that, which is why to this blue line I wasn't getting the same number they got. I'm thinking they actually counted this excess here. I don't know. Either way, she's gorgeous. I hope she turns out gorgeous done. But I'm really, really, really worried about the hair, if you can't tell. Alright, so that's it for the ones I got. But my mom got some. So I think there's supposed to be 3 here for me, 3 here for my mom. I'm going to go ahead and get my mom's out of the way. So a little 20 by 30 wolf. Hopefully that turns out for her. It has 13 colors. They're all light colors, easy to read there. The D's and O's are similar too, though. Look how similar that D and O is. Again, there's a D and O. See the dough right here? So that's going to be difficult for her, I think. I don't like the look of that, but Cute little wolf. Little train. Boat with nothing. So we do got the canvas number on the bags. Grays, some light blues. I see a little bit of, I want to say brown, but it's not really brown. It's kind of more of one of those reddish colors in there. Sorry, the drills don't want me to show you them. They're just so little in the bag that they're just falling out of the way. Come on. So sorry, Mommy, he might turn out looking nice, but you're gonna have a little bit of issue with O and D in here. I don't know how similar the colors actually are. It might not even matter if you put O's and D's on the wrong one. But so yeah, we got this pretty little guy. Next up, so my mom did show me this one in the car while we were waiting on something, but I have never seen it before. It's like, not sure, kind of reminds me of Avatar's water one with these like water people. I don't know if they're like supposed to be mermaids or just like a form of water people. Plain old boat again. You got the canvas name on there. Again, it's like a more orange colored skin tone, I think. Yellow-orange skin tone. There's some blues in there, some pinks, greens. Not what you would expect for any form of human, but kind of like Avatar where they're blue. I think these are kind of like a yellow people. Again, I can kind of see like a fin or something here, and her hair almost looks like coral or seaweed or something like that. So they're obviously a water creature. I don't know if I'd want to call them a mermaid though. The ears are definitely interesting. Kind of like a wavy elf style, or, you know, something like that. There's a cute little flower. Cute little fish in the top corner. Hopefully you can see this hand on her chest versus the kid and the hand here. Hopefully the color difference works to keep the two parts separated from each other. Because it does look like there's a black line going through here. So again, I've never seen this one on Temu, but it's kind of cool, kind of different. Hopefully it turns out. Like I said, it looks like there's a line of definition there for the hand. You have 22 colors, decent drill field. The O's a little hard to read, but again, if it's only the O that looks like that, I don't think you'll have an issue. D, B, and R there are kind of similar. I kind of hate how close the D, B, and R look. There's the D, B, and R again. So you might have some trouble with D, B, and R. Again, overhead light versus light pad changes stuff quite a bit when you're working on these canvases. So depending on how it looks here, depending on how it looks on a light pad, you may decide one way is easier to read than the other. But that's a cute photo. And this one's actually End Girl as the tag, so it's an Indian doll. I've seen this picture before, I do believe. Hopefully it looks better done, because right now it's a little pixely looking. Train. Plane. A lot of this cream color here. You got reds, some blues, kind of a gray, green almost, brown, grays and blues, some more brown hiding in there. This kind of is like an orangish brown color. So that's this girl's color palette. I think it's about what you expect. Again, this looks like her skin tone, but then all of this is supposed to be detail on the dress or something. I'm a little unsure of how this is going to turn out. And this does not want to come off of the canvas. Almost felt like somebody stuck it on upside down there for a second. The stick is good. That part removed just fine. And yeah, this up here, just for some reason, the top does not want to peel up nicely. Third time trying to peel it up and it's still kind of fighting me. So we have 23 colors. 1 is 1, 8 is 8, 9 starts A, C, D, F. So cool. They do have the dummy circles, so it should look a little bit better done. You got D's and Q's there, which again, depending on if you're using a light pad or overhead and your eyesight, may or may not be an issue. F's and T's and R's and V and A. And then her legs here are also T's. So see, this is what I'm saying. The legs are T. And these patches through the dress or lines or whatever they are also T's. So, I'm not sure. But she should turn out a little bit better than she looks now. But I do think that this being skin tone, all of this being skin tone, the skin tone going through the dress here, it might be a little messy. Now, you guys have already seen this one. It's a 20 by 30. I said in the video that oops. I said in the video that it was a really nice 20 by 30 and I wanted my mom to work on it, or I wanted to work on it, along with the pig one. She finished the pig. She bought me the frog. Look at all the greens. Some orange, brown, blue, purple, black. But look at him. Doesn't he look like he's going to turn out great for this tiny size? You guys know I'm not a fan of little paintings like this, but at the same time, this one looked like he was going to turn out really nice in this size. And then, if so, it'd be a nice one to recommend to you guys for a small painting, for those of you that want a small painting to try or to give to somebody to try, as long as they don't mind frogs, because not everybody's interested in frogs. Look, how can you hate those big eyes? And then you have little patches of colors, so it's not like crazy confetti. You have the lines of the ones in the eyes, and the D's and the 4s and the 3s. Like, I think this might be a good starter canvas that isn't going to be too big to work on, but at the same time isn't going to leave them wanting more detail than what they ended up seeing. And a huge block of color blocking down there. The 8's somewhat scattered through it, kind of enough that you should be able to get everything you want to try from this little guy, I think, and still have a decent picture when you're done. So, I think this one might be a good one for people that want small ones, either because they like small or because they want to try it. So I will let you guys know when that one's done. Like I said, there was a nice pig one that I unboxed, and my mom did finish that one, and it does look decent as far as I can tell from the photo she sent me. She said it took her 2 days to do the 20 by 30. This one I believe is a square. I think it's from the same company that had the 2 vampire females that I was thinking it was going to be a bad photo. Then I realized it was square, and it's like, I'll let it pass. So it may look better because squares always look a little rough. But I haven't tried the other one with the 2 ladies, so I don't know how this one's going to work. A lot of browns, creams, there's some purples. Colors are very similar. They are squares. They look like decent squares though. I don't see a huge amount that are shaped weirdly or anything. So they look like they might be decent squares. I don't know when I will get to trying it out, but nice stick. I'm sorry if you can tell I'm getting tired again. It happens quite often with me. My day today was one of not going to bed until 2 hours before you had to wake up, then not waking up when you had to wake up, and yeah. Very long list here. No DMC though. You got the canvas and a number. No DMC. So if you're one that keeps your drills, unless you're color matching this to drills you already have, you don't have any number to keep them. So I'm a fan of having DMC numbers. I don't appreciate this. Although I do have one of those books to kind of color match this to the color so I can put it with the correct DMC number. That's just a lot of a headache. It's like, do I really need to do that? Like for squares, I definitely haven't done it because I don't have enough squares that I'm worried about missing drills on. For rounds, it's like I have enough of the drills. I'm not sure I feel like worrying about that. So it's kind of like you gave me garbage after I'm done with the painting. And if the painting doesn't turn out, I can't even say, well, at least I bought the drills that I could have as spares. So that kind of sucks. But again, remember, this is going to look a little bit better done because squares always look a little rough. But we do have a painting. I'm not sure how well it is going to look done. But it's very easy to read all of that, I think. You got color blocking and confetti at the same time. So it's a Grim Reaper and a lady. It looks like it has a larger white border. Not by much, honestly. It's like a 24, so we expect a 25, it's a 24. Not too bad. 40, we expect 35. And it's a 33.5. Not bad. The border does look larger, but at the same time, it really isn't any smaller of a painting, so cool. I don't know what gives that border a larger look. Last one. Again, this is one I didn't know they had. Like, I've seen her in a smaller version. I've never seen her in a bigger painting like this. So. Oh boy. It's another Indian, Native American, whatever you want to call it. Looks like it has a larger white border. It's a slightly softer canvas. It's a 40 by 50, it says. But it's kind of interesting that there's the blue line around the painting here and then the white border here. Normally, you don't have a definition line between the painting and the chart. This has a definition line between the painting and the chart. Don't know if I've ever seen one like this before. They do come pre-bagged, although these feel like they're the really soft, thin bags. That wax is almost transparent. Normally, the duller the color, the less stick they have. I don't know if that is the case with this, or if it just is a different color. But kind of red, orange, yellowy colors. Blues, greens, browns, a little bit purple. 939 bag here. This is one of those bags. I don't... Okay, no, it is. Alright, never mind. This is the canvas number here. And then I am going to open this. So you got it's a 939. You got that it's number 16 on this chart. And I don't know what the 25 stands for on all of these, but I am guessing this 26-235 or something might be a weight. This 0.52, I'm guessing that's the weight. I don't know what the 25 is on all of these. They all say 25 though. I do kind of hate that this tag is, or was, it looks like I can close it tighter. There we go. So now I have it where it's straight, but they did have it. You can see the bend still right there. Well, they had it bent around the top. So, not the best placement for the tag because I almost missed that the label was on them. So she looks a little dark. I'm a little unsure of how clear this is going to be, or this red line defined from this. This is a thick cover sheet. I'm wondering if this is a double-sided with a clear cover sheet now though. Yes, it is. This is a double-sided. You see how it's rolling up like that? So if I were to take a blade and I were to go like this and just cut lightly down the line here, I'm gonna just cut it off there. And then I go here and I start trying to roll this up. There we go. I'm getting it. So now I can go like this. See how it's just rolling up? See that? So that is a double-sided adhesive. That's some double-sided tape I just rolled right off the canvas. Now there's no tape past the black edge. So that's what I tend to do with my double-sided is I cut all the way down to that black edge. And that's what the blue edge is for, is that's where they measure how far out their tape sticks apparently. So again, thicker white sheet equals double-sided most of the time. Again, I have got thicker white sheets on poured glue, but every time I've had a double-sided with a clear cover, it's been a thick cover. So again, when you pull these corners up like this, just be careful you don't accidentally start pulling the glue. Be careful you don't start peeling the tape up. So again, guys, you cannot tell if it's a double-sided or a poured based off of the covering. I really want that to be clear to people. Don't trust this to tell you what you're working on. What I just showed you, what I just showed you with how the tape can be cut and rolled is a good way to tell. You can't do that with the glue. With the glue, if you put that cut through and you try to roll it off, you could peel pieces off. You'll get blackness from like your fingertips stuck to it, but it does not just like roll off the canvas like this. But double-sided, getting rid of that extra tape is very easy. Come on. Oof. So, I like that it's a softer canvas. I like these harder cover sheets even on my poured glue because they're nice and rigid. They're almost like the cover sheet, the white cover sheets you buy to put on your paintings instead of the really thin cover sheet. So I do like these thicker, clear cover sheets like this. Interesting, I just got a splinter in my canvas. Well, 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 3, down to 8, which is 8, then A, C, D, so nice, down to X on 25. And again, drill field looks easy. It's the square type. They were not square drills though, right? Yeah, no, they're round drills, but this is the older square style painting. So she should definitely look better complete because right now each thing is a block. Which again, in some ways I like because I know for a fact there's only 3 cues right here making up the eye, but it does make it look less detailed than once the drills are down. And again, I'm just gonna go ahead and do this bottom here with you just to show you again. So we go ahead and peel up the cover. So I'm gonna go ahead and peel up the cover here. I'm gonna peel it up enough it stays out of my way. Then I grab my scalpel, and again, you could technically do this with the cover sheet on it if you want to cut through the cover sheet and the tape and not, you know. That way you can also put your measuring tape or something on, or ruler on it to make it a straight cut, but I'm not too worried about an absolute straight cut, but I just go ahead, put a decent amount of pressure, but you're still just kind of gliding it. You don't want to push down and cut through the canvas, and then you just kind of drag it along the line here. Like that. And then we go up here and we kind of just start this tape here. There we go, I got it started. And you can just see I can go like this and just and sometimes it will break off or something and you have to start again. Okay, so it didn't go all the way down to the blue line. You can see it's quite a natural smaller line than the blue line here. So I just keep going like this, rolling it down. You can see, you can just, sometimes it breaks, but other times you can just keep going. And now I'm going to break it by rolling out too far this way. Keep going. I think I broke that one again because there's barely any tape actually sticking out down here. So. Yep, the tape is pretty much just to the cut there, and you can see I cut a little too deep. You see that? But if you're going to frame your canvas, then it doesn't really matter anyway like that. I didn't cut into the drill field. Like I said, you do want a light hand, otherwise you can see my cut line right there. See it? Right there's my cut line. But you can also see I didn't go through the canvas. So that's how you remove the extra tape on that. That's how you can verify it is a tape and not a glue. Again though, if you do try to scrape at the corner like that and it is a glue, it is going to kind of smear. You are going to get some like particles from your skin and stuff stuck in it. So you'll definitely want to cut it off or put some tape or something around it so you don't see it, because it will look ugly. But anyway, she was our last one. And again, I do think the black hair there is going to be enough definition to keep that red line on her face from that red here. So, older square style, but round drills. Square drills. What we're used to now for round drills. And then you have my mom's too. And of course, my larger black lady. I already put her up with the rest of my large ones to be put away, so there you go. Hopefully you like this. Hopefully me kind of showing you that might help somebody, but remember, if it's a double-sided tape or a poured glue, you can't tell by the clear cover sheet. So hopefully you guys have a nice day, night, morning. Hopefully your day, night, and morning continues to go well. Hopefully you get some of your diamond painting in, or something else you enjoy. I know I don't always diamond paint. I diamond painted yesterday, but I had taken like a few days from diamond painting. I, however, have sorted paintings and drills and everything else, so I haven't taken a full break. I've just taken a break from putting the drills on the canvas.